Just as that song was going on, I noticed we lost our guest.
Did
there
we
she comes
really?
back. Okay, good. Yeah, she came back. We got her back. I see her now.
Already? Is it
Yeah, I
something
thought she had enough of us already and she left.
Good to see you again.
Same here. It's been a couple weeks now because you had a trip. Tell us about your trip.
Oh, it was amazing. I went out to England to go visit my family. I hadn't been out there in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to spend some time with my beautiful, precious nieces and with my brother and my sister-in-law and their family. We saw so many things. We saw lavender fields. We saw Cambridge University. Dug around in London for a little while. It was a blast and much needed. So,
and you didn't even take your co-host with you. How rude.
I offered you to get in my suitcase. Just saying.
Well, yeah,
that was an
I guess
option.
I need a passport too. So,
oh yeah, that helps.
One day I'll get a passport. I've never owned one. Never.
Oh, geez. Well, I mean, Canada's huge, right? So, what do you really need a passport for? You're really not leaving.
And it's beautiful here.
Yeah, except for in the wintertime.
Well, it looks beautiful. It's just very cold.
Yeah. Yeah, I got
Until you know what's worse is after winter time when the snow's melting, because all the dirt that were on the roads that were pushed off by the plows, as it starts to melt, it goes all onto the sidewalks. It melts all the dirt onto your grass, and that's when it's gross. But then the good thing about here in Ontario is they're very good at cleaning the roads up. So
right. Well, you have a very clean country, but I'll take Arizona. Well, you can't really see it, but it's so beautiful here right now.
Well,
it's stunning.
Our leaves are starting to actually change now. So
awesome. Fall. We love it.
Exactly. Now, it looks like we might be having some issues with her in a second, but do you want to play her video to introduce her to everybody first?
Yes. Let's just give a brief introduction, a pre-introduction to who we have on our show today. She is mega talented, mega super duper influential, especially in my life. I can now call her a friend. She's amazing, inspirational, LaTasha Renèe. And we've got a wonderful video just to kind of show you guys who she is and what she stands for. So roll it.
All right.
She does!
She does life.
She does!
LaTasha is a game changer.
I am so happy to be here to celebrate LaTasha Renèe and her launch of She Does.
LaTasha is inspiring.
LaTasha is groundbreaking.
LaTasha is a beautiful, inspiring human being.
LaTasha is a positive leader.
The challenge is life-changing. The challenge is about getting real.
The challenge is to look inside and follow your dreams.
The challenge was not easy, but the challenge was a good one. It brought out self-reflection, and it made me do affirmations, and it really made me look inward at myself and see what I can change and what I can make better and how I can make the world better.
Couldn't even work, could barely take care of my kids. See now you, okay. And then I came here. I said, I'm on disability anyways. I might as well just do this challenge thing. And then I came here and I was able to work past my grief and show up for my kids, be a better wife to my husband, continue to go back to work, and move past one of the most difficult times in my life by being here. The challenge is that transformative grace you need for your own life. I feel transformed.
The challenge has pushed me closer to my goals.
I told all my friends that this challenge is about being strong, being bold, and being part of a community. The challenge is revolutionary.
I wanted to dive into maybe some things that are on my heart that might be holding me back. And if I can tap into those things and heal them, then the sky is the limit for me. And I can just continue to grow as a person and to be a good example for my family. The challenge is empowering.
The challenge helped me realize that I am stronger than what I think I am. I am capable, more capable of anything that I put my mind to. The challenge helped me dig deep.
challenge is eye-opening and heart-filling and a beautiful reminder that we need to embrace who we are.
LaTasha is a catalyst.
LaTasha is encouraging.
LaTasha is amazing.
LaTasha is kind.
LaTasha is a role model.
LaTasha is an amazing entrepreneur.
She does everything she sets her mind to.
Yes, she does.
I mean, I saw that last night and I got teary, and I'm teary again. So
I literally, every time I watch it, I get teary.
it's crazy because I was there and I know what that challenge is and was. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome LaTasha Renèe to Onset with Sarah and John. We are so grateful that you are here, sister.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you for having me on today.
Oh, geez. That video, he did such a great job. That's John Mark Hurley. He's our good friend who was in town to capture the footage of the challenge and what that was.
I saw him again on Saturday. He came out and did our She Does workshop.
Fantastic.
So yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, he understands. So let's talk about that challenge and what that was.
Yeah. So I have been in the space of transforming mostly women physically for 30 plus years. I was a personal trainer and have a chain of gyms in the Bay Area. And as I started navigating through life with women, it started to feel really, I don't want to say, for lack of a better term, we're going to call it shallow for me to continue to talk about squats and burpees and transformation, because I was watching people give themselves value enough to get fit, but only having it for a moment. And then they were putting themselves on the back burner and reprioritizing their lives again. That didn't include them on a top shelf.
Right.
And as I go through that process, I'm like, gosh, there's just deeper work here. Like, why does this cycle happen for us? And that's when I just, dug a little deeper and found that our modern day woman we're struggling, right? We're doing all the things. A lot of us are either in egalitarian households, meaning that we divide up the responsibilities, including financial, or some of us are breadwinners. And in that process, we're acting as if I watched my parents have been together for 55 years. Wow. And I have watched my mom gracefully do all of the things, including work. She was an engineer. And one day I'm like, gosh, Mom, you ruined me. And she's like, what? I'm like, I don't understand how you did all of that so gracefully. And at the end of the day, after multiple conversations, it's just a different world. It's a world right now. And so our plates are a lot fuller. We do a lot more. We're exposed to a lot more. And to be perfectly honest, women are drained. We're tired because we're like, oh, no, this is who you're supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to do. Right. As I began having those conversations, I'm like, there's the missing piece. There's the missing piece. We're devaluing ourselves. We're not prioritizing ourselves. We're not using our voices, and not to take anything over, just for an insight in what we are going through, what we're struggling with. And so I came up with She Does and the challenge as a way to bring the conversation to the table so we can start making moves in our lives that are more equitable when it comes to gender roles in women.
So proud of you. I mean, it's so big, and to have been there in person, to experience all of the emotion that was just so vulnerably displayed, and unapologetically, as it should be, right? Just get out there and express who you are, be you, allow yourself to be vulnerable, create the tribe around you, because that's where the winning happens. It's in the support system. It's not necessarily all the work that we do by ourselves, because we can't succeed without support, right? And so
accountability, being, it's so easy to come off of any type of event or challenge or anything and go, oh yeah, you got this fire to change.
Yes.
but reality is for every single human, we're creatures of habit and comfort, right? And so if someone's not saying, remember over here, and
Right.
hold accountable to make those couple of steps, I mean, it's kind of all in vain, right?
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of community. Even at my gyms, community is a really big topic, because I 100%, just like you said, believe that life is done together, and great things are 100% done together, because it's really hard to catapult yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. What were you going to say, John?
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh,
I'm just listening it in because
this
I can listen
so-
to everything you're saying because I have 2 daughters myself, and I want them to have the best things in the world that they can have. And just watching powerful women getting out there and putting themselves out there, it's very refreshing because I want to know that they can do anything they want to do. And because it's been more of a male dominated world for the last 50, 60, 70 years, 100 years. So it's nice to see a lot of women getting out there and doing what they got to do. And not even just women, like anything you're saying can be used for, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You just got to get out there, get out of that comfort zone and do what you got to do. And that's my whole background too, because I was working a 9-to-5 job actually at Muscle Mag there doing working, making Muscle Mag money. Not that I didn't mind doing that. Of course, I enjoyed my time there and everything, but it wasn't until I had a little accident of my own that made me realize that life's too short and you got to take chances in life and you got to get out there and do it. And I'm glad I did. So it's nice to see you taking it by the reins, getting out there and just doing it instead of just talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, to give the audience a little synopsis, I know we kind of dove right into Sheeta's right away, but LaTasha and I met at a mastermind conference that my good friend Tim Lyons, just like family, but no relation. Tim Lyons, a local guy in town here, he provides platforms for gym owners, and he teaches the gym owners how to make their gyms more successful, basically. So he's created an amazing system for gym owners all around the country, right? And so LaTasha, like she said, she's from the Bay Area. She attended the conference, and I was photographing it for Tim. And she and I just like, who are you? Who are you?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like,
I'm all something's gonna fit. Something.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, we're going to get along and we're going to be friends, and someday something's going to happen. And so that someday did happen. And this is just a few years, 2 or 3 years later after the conference. I can't remember. Did I meet you 3 years ago?
Pre-COVID we met.
Yeah.
And so it's, we've been in this COVID, it's been part of our vocabulary for about 3.5 years, right?
Right. So probably 4 years ago is when we first met. And then, God knows all the timing is perfectly, right? So we were able to go out to the Bay Area and do a big photo shoot for LaTasha and some of the people that were involved in her challenge that she had set up out there. And it was absolutely amazing. And we did big things with you, like right out of the gates. We're like, you're doing a bodyscape cover and you're doing billboards in Times Square, and this is happening. And I'm bringing Joey Rolone, my stylist from Miami, who flew all the way out and styled LaTasha for her shoot, and also the wonderful people that were with us a few days before on a group photo shoot too. So it was just amazing, and it was fun, and it felt so natural, and there was a lot of planning involved. But by the time we got there, it was like, oh yeah, got this. It was easy.
Yeah, it was, but really, I like to tell the story all the time about the day of my photo shoot. Like, it was so amazing being on the other side and watching you photograph women that some of the women that photographed that day had never, ever done anything like this at all. And so there was lots of tears and emotions to watch themselves transform. And then even bigger, to have the confidence that they brought, and then we fanned, to watch them shine like that was absolutely by far one of the most amazing experience of the entire event. But even for myself, who, I am an entrepreneur, and I definitely have a vision of what I want to show up as, and my branding and all of that stuff. And for me, one of the biggest gifts in this experience, and I told Sarah and Joey that day, Joey hopped on the phone with me and he's like, do you want to talk about your apparel? I'm like, I gave you the vision. I mean, I get, not really, and he's like, oh, okay. And so then he showed up, and we had the makeup artist, and the entire day of my shoot, I never looked in the mirror one time.
I remember that. I'm like, have you seen yourself?
No.
No.
And for me, who is in control of so many aspects of my life, my business, my family, my children, my calendar, everything, to have a day of being pampered like that, so much so that I don't have to worry about it.
Right.
I trust the process and the people that I have partnered with. We've talked just enough for you to totally execute the vision. And I can just trust that is gold.
Yeah.
Like gold. I literally, I got home and I went to wash my face and I was like, whoa. Like, I'm all, did I go out to eat like this? Because, it was all photograph makeup.
Right.
And so, did you not know what you look like? I'm like, I did not. I'm like, all day. I'm like, I'd go to the bathroom, wash my hands and keep it moving. Like, I never looked. And so that in itself is like such a beautiful gift that that the Epic Destination Shoots provides. Like that to me was like everything. I mean, the pictures were amazing and all of the talent that you brought was amazing, but to just show up to professionals that you can 100% trust, everything.
Well, we really enjoyed it thoroughly. The entire process of all of it just went smooth. And I, like, my whole thing is to listen to your message, right? I need to know what you want to represent, right? So communication is always super important to me with people like you. We're going out of state to accommodate you. This was like a custom kind of an Epic Destination shoot that LaTasha had created for myself and my team. And we were happy to do it. But yeah, communicating and understanding the vibe and understanding and doing your pre-research on LaTasha, right? Like I knew you, but I didn't know the inner workings of everything that you were involved with. And so because
she does is new, right? And
right.
So, I mean, this was the launch of the brand.
Yeah.
And so all I had to give you was a vision. And that you guys just executed that like tenfold. And what I mean, it wasn't even just like the physical part, but really even the people and the members and all of the people that did the challenge. I mean, their entire experience in communicating with you guys and how you made them feel was just really everything. So
I love it. Well, I'm glad it all worked out, and I'm glad that you're happy with everything. I'm very happy with everything. And somebody just got back from New York seeing.
Yes. You know what? That never gets old. Say it again.
Right? Somebody just got back from Times Square seeing herself on giant screens. John, do you have those photos?
I do. I'm actually just grabbing them right now.
You have to see this. I can't even imagine. I've not been to Times Square yet to see any of my billboards, which is crazy. And by now I've had maybe 100 up there. But I mean, what did it feel like when you were in the presence of that? Because that is the Coca-Cola Tower, smack dab in the middle of Times Square.
So it's so crazy because I'm looking at it and I'm getting like all emo again. Just like literally my husband and I flew in and it was a really short trip just because we had a packed week. Our schedules are pretty insane. And so we caught, I had a client on Saturday morning. I finished up with them and then we rushed to the airport and we didn't land into New York till about midnight on Saturday night. And our hotel was a block away from this tower. Right. And got there and I was tired. I just from traveling because it was really only 9 here, but it felt like it was so late. It was about 1 a.m. now. And my husband's like, let's just go walk to it. I'm like, I need to be emotionally prepared for this. Like I need to like get into my room. And like, he's like, no, we're going to drop off the luggage and we're going to go straight there.
Good
and
for
so
him.
Yeah. And so at 1:30, we in the morning, we like walk up and of course this is the first one we see and I'm a little closer and he's about maybe 30 feet and he wanted different angles. Mm-hmm. And we both like, as soon as it popped up, I turn around and we were both like teary-eyed. Like, oh my gosh, this is so it was just amazing. It was just an amazing feeling.
It's just so cool. And that photo belonged up there. Like you're on top of the world kind of, right? You're literally like the epicenter of Times Square, which is a hub for, obviously if you don't know about Times Square, let me tell you, Coca-Cola advertises there constantly. This is big fashion brands, big advertisers, Samsung, you see these giant brands, and then there's LaTasha. But, your brand is huge also, your She Does brand. And it's just so cool to be able to feature you up there. There we go. That's what I love this photo of you. I love it, love it, love it, because it just shows the scale, and you're like, oh, yep, I'm just here in Times Square in the rain. And oh, that's me. That's me up there.
Yeah. This one, I mean, again, you see pictures of it. And then when you go in person, I mean, that billboard is like the size of a small bedroom, it feels like. And so it was just so huge. Like, and again, to be on the billboard for me was one thing, but really to be able to stand there in my glory and talk about my mission, just through those words was just surreal. Like it felt like claiming to the world, I'm here for it, even louder than just like the brand itself.
Right.
Being in that setting was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, she's here for it.
Wow.
And that's really what she stands for. That it's almost like a branding, like an iron branding. Like you can't really go anywhere. It's on a billboard now.
We want everyone to get real familiar with She Does and everything that you're doing. And I feel like we are just now starting the marketing process with the content that we photographed of you, right? Because up next is, the end of the year Bodyscape magazine cover. Like this is big, so it's like it's starting to piece itself out in these billboards. And then you have the magazine coverage coming at the end of the year. You roll that into the new year and your marketing pieces and everything that you're doing. And it's just so fun to be a part of it. So I'm grateful that you chose me. Thank you.
Excited to choose you. Yeah. Like you said, perfect timing, right? To get to a space where I'm like, ooh, this is it. I mean, my been around for quite some time. And where we live, I mean, they're known. And so to take myself and branch out into something different that still services my members on a different level, like this loud about it and get the amazing reaction. I mean, our first challenge that we launched around helping women get to this place was, gosh, we had over 700 women that joined kind of the message.
Wow.
And that goes to tell you, like, like we were just speaking about. I mean, it's so important to have these conversations.
It really is.
And not just slip into traditional gender roles and responsibilities. It's time to redefine feminism, and that's such an interpersonal conversation, and it's different for every household. But I 100% believe in the mission of starting the conversation for sure.
I know. That's what I love about you. There's nothing's holding you back. You've got a voice. We've all got a voice. But how we use it is what matters.
Yes.
Right? And through your natural organic voice, you have become this beacon of, I'm going to use the word like inspiration, authority, right? People know, go to LaTasha for this kind of inspo, for this kind of advice, for your posts that you do on Facebook. Guys, everybody follow LaTasha Renèe on Facebook right now. Like just forget about us for a second. Go follow her and check out the posts that she makes. I mean, she's so inspirational. She's just, you'll be in the challenge group. I remember like you were on the bike and you were like doing an 11-minute long video and you're like schwitzing, sweating your face off and, just like getting the message out there. And I loved it. I was like, I'm going to watch the whole thing. I want to see what else she has to say.
It's so funny. Like, I am just not one of those, the minute you take off the masks and you say to yourself, I'm showing up organically, no matter what. I mean, it really goes there. And it's so funny. Those videos all the time. And I have literally, watched, and I'm not one for watching my stuff back, but I've watched it back and I've done an entire 11-minute video with zip cream on my face. One time I drank branched chain amino acids and I had a big ring right here. I looked like I dash, and I don't take them down. It is what it is. You know what I mean? If I had to think through every single process. Is my hair okay? Is my lashes okay? So like I would never stop on a camera. So I literally had to strip all that away and just say, I'm showing up as I am. And sometimes messy, but sometimes I'm a little messy. And so I literally just kind of chose to take that out. It was a process though, because we all come with these like, it's got to be perfect. It's got to look like this. We've got to show up like that. And that's a lot of times what stops people from moving forward is the pre-packaging, right?
Mhm.
It gotta
Great
be,
term.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
Well, why don't we go to a quick break?
yeah.
And when we come back, why don't we go through some images that you and Sarah did together, and you can talk a little bit about them, and we'll go from there. We'll just transition into that.
Sure.
Sounds
All
good.
right. So we'll be back right after this.
Guys, how many times have we heard this? Age is just a number. But I'm here to tell you it's true. I am 51 years old and I have never felt better in my life. I photograph women of all ages. Do not let age stand in your way of booking a photo shoot with me. In fact, recently I worked with supermodel Pat Chance, who was 66 years old when I photographed her for the 4th cover of Epic Fit magazine. She was actually on a former cover of Bodyscape magazine herself. Not only that, but I photographed an amazing woman in Corpus Christi, Texas named Miss Jovan, and she was 82 years old. She brought it all to the camera, and I was just amazed by her stunning grace and beauty. So don't let age get in the way of booking a photo shoot with me. You can be any shape, any size, any age. It doesn't matter. Book a shoot. Capture those memories. It's nothing to be ashamed of if you're over age 50. Get out there and explore the journey on an epic destination shoot. I look forward to seeing you in front of my lens.
Familiar footage?
Yes, I love it.
One day I'll have to get in front of your lens.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, you do. You got to do it, John.
Yeah.
Dad bod and all.
Passport first. You got to get out of Canada.
That's true. Although we'll just fly you to Canada.
I've got some great wigs for you. The one on the billboard. That was two wigs.
That was 2.
I'd
So
look good in it. I have one somewhere. I'll have to put it on here one day. But I have one with a big. I do Santa pictures here, and I had a Santa wig. But when I put it on, I look like Dee Snider went crazy from Twisted Sister.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of the footage that you saw in that video that we just showed in our little commercial was from LaTasha's shoot in California.
And we didn't even plan that either.
Yes,
No.
the ladies that you saw there that were posing and, just on that white set, that was a lot of the footage from LaTasha's epic week in California. So that was fun.
That's super fun.
Yeah.
Reminiscing.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I should
Can I show
send
you one of my favorite pictures I saw that you sent me of her?
What?
Yeah.
This one I really like.
Interesting. Interesting.
I like it. I could be that guy with the cigar there.
I love it.
The story is real. The story is real. And that was a super highly pre-thought image that was on LaTasha's, the top of her list.
Well, you know what's so funny about the image? So that's my husband. And in the picture,
good looking guy.
Thank you. And we have, we've got a 23-year-old and a 20-year-old. And so it's kind of funny, in the process of opening up about She Does and really coming into my authentic self along the way, there was a couple of stories that I shared with my challengers that I'd never spoken about before. And one of them is that I am a convicted felon. Long story short, I was involved in a mortgage that fell apart that someone else did, and I was considered a criminal with a witness with criminal exposure. And so that went with me, and I don't have any shame around it. It birthed P2P. I would have never, ever, 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 ever had the vision and the thought and the ability to do P2P without going through. P2P is my chain of gyms. And I would have never been put in that position had that not happened. So we always joke around and laugh because my husband's like covered in tattoos from head to toe. And I feel like I look like the girl next door. Just kidding. But I like laughed and I'm like, hey, the picture with Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg that says, guess which one's the felon? Babe, I want that picture. Right? That was the vision of the picture. But you know what happened, John, is the picture turned out too cute.
It is awesome. I love that shot. He has that total GQ look going there.
Exactly. It doesn't look like Felon and like Girl Next Door, and it was supposed to be, but it looked
like a hot couple that just are just out there just showing off, saying, "Look at look what we get, look who we are."
We would have had to take you a lot further to get that Martha Stewart, Snoop Dogg type of vibe.
I'm like,
I think it's just a hot, sexy picture, but very tasteful at the same time. I love it.
Yeah, no, it was super fun. He was having, to the point about people showing up on camera. I think that my husband had anxiety about doing this one image for like 2 weeks. He brought tequila.
He's a natural though. He should be doing this more often. He's a natural. Look at him. His pose is great.
I know, but see, that's what happens. People, the pre-work, the pre-packaging is more stressful than it just is. Because he got
you tell him that I love this image. I think he looks amazing, and I could see him doing more modeling after this image. So you tell him I said that. Not that I have any clout or anything, but
I will share it with him that's your favorite.
And he's such a nice guy. Like, he walked in and I knew that he's your husband and everything. And I'm like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Sarah, the photographer. And he's like, oh, so nice to meet you. Like, so glad you're here, that kind of thing. And I'm like, you're super cool, super nice. Like, of course, but it's just his preference to have tattoos. Who cares? That doesn't mean that you're a good or a bad person. You know what I mean? It's just the vibe. It's a look.
Yeah,
I actually do a series here called Tattoos in the Valley. And I actually have people pay me to come in and have pictures done with their tattoos because a lot of them are the greatest, nicest people. They just get a bad stigma because they have tattoos.
Yeah, it's definitely changed. We've been together for 20 something years, and we were just talking about the other day. I mean, now it's so mainstream. He's like, oh, now I really fit in because I look like. I mean, it's so common now. But when we first dated, 20 something years ago, and here we are. He's Latino, but he's got bright green, like a white guy. So we've got the tattoos, and then there's black, and everybody would look at us kind of cross-eyed, like, oh, the girl with the white guy with the tattoos, and like I remember all of the looks, and now we like blend in. So
sounds like a movie. This could be like the poster for the movie.
In this photo.
yeah, there you go. That's us now.
Now.
That is awesome. I love it. Is there any specific photos, Sarah, you want me to show first?
Yeah, I mean, I love all of them. I would just whatever you've downloaded. I just
I got all like 50 of them.
LaTasha's photos, and I was done with them. I was so bummed out. I'm like, there's no more. Yeah.
Well, here, I'll just open up from the start. And we'll just go through. We're not going to talk all of them, of course, or we'll be here all day. But
I know, right?
We'll start at the first one, and we can go from there. And we'll try and keep stories as short as you can. But if you have any specific thing you want to say about them, go for it.
He clearly knows, Sarah. He's like telling us to keep the story short.
Okay, well, the story's not going to be short for this one. Sorry. This one just was evolutionary in process, was it not? We got the wigs, and I think that the idea was birthed at the house before we got to the studio that we were going to probably do something wild. Tina Turner had recently passed, maybe a month before, right? Okay. And when did we do this shoot? We did this shoot in June. Was it June?
I'm not sure what day it is right now. So
it was June, yeah. So because you had the book release that was pending, right? So in July, right? So we had to get this shoot done. But all of a sudden, Tina Turner came back to life. There was a Tina Turner revival happening right in front of my face. And Joey had styled this look perfectly. Joey Rolone, again, celebrity fashion stylist out of Miami, who came with us to this shoot to style LaTasha to perfection. And so this was the image. Once the image was captured and I got home and I really started diving into this set of photos, something big needed to happen with these. Something big had to happen. And so we decided that with her billboard, we were going to do what we could within the limitations that we were they set forth for us, right? We had to kind of work the Tina Turner angle without it being from Tina. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it wound up being perfect for She Does, because these poses and this attitude and everything that LaTasha brought to the table in these moments was everything that She Does stands for. Look at this confidence, right?
Yep, definitely.
This isn't that's natural. That is in there, and no one had to try and get that out of her. That was there. So to capture those moments, that was very special, and also honoring Tina Turner in our minds with the thought of Tina and everything that she had been through, same way you've been through things, to bring those images to light and to have them up on Times Square billboards. Wow. That was a real treat for all of us on the team too.
Yeah.
We don't need another hero when we got LaTasha.
Right. We don't.
Sorry, that was my sad segue from Tina to LaTasha. So that's one of her songs, in case people didn't know that.
There you go.
And then this.
Oh yeah, fun.
This was outfit number 1. And so Joey just, you know, you had sent a Beyonce photo where she was wearing a red puffer, right?
Yes. Yes.
And I sent it over to Joey and I'm like, this is kind of what she's feeling. And he's like, oh, we can do better. So we brought the silver in, not as to, you know, we don't want to copy anyone. So we brought the silver in and just had this, everything leading up to the first shots was so exciting. We hadn't done any photos yet. This is literally the first look we did out of, I don't know, 9 or 10 different outfits throughout the day. It's insane. That one is one of my favorites.
Yeah, she puts Beyonce to shame on these.
Ooh, I like that. And goes her whole theme of her last concert was, what was it, silver, chrome, or something? Everybody's wearing silver and chrome to her stuff. So, fun.
Wonder if they saw your gallery.
I know. Right? Okay, I'll take Beyonce copied me. It's fine, guys. You can say it.
Exactly.
Like, let's keep it real. This super fun, super epic. Joey just, you know, I'm gonna say, like, Joey just kind of put a lot of this stuff together within, like you said earlier, you never even saw yourself in the mirror. It was kind of just like what he was gonna put on you next, and then it just decided to happen that way. And total elegance, but fierceness and awesome.
Yeah.
It's like Elvira meets Batwoman.
I know, right? I know he pulls out the stuff, and it's so crazy because, I mean, none of this stuff would you wear in your real life, right? And you just kind of let him do his thing, and here it produces this like collective, fabulous, you know, rounded result. And so, yeah, really, really fun. If I had an opinion here, I'd have been like, oh, that's too much. That's too much. But I mean, I let them do his thing, and it's too much, but it's fabulously too much.
You guys rock it. Your whole crew, everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So fun. So much fun.
I know you really liked this one.
Yeah, this one was fun. This one was fun because it came out during the launch of the Barbie movie.
Oh, right. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I got so stuck on Tina Turner that I wasn't even thinking about Barbie.
Yeah. It happened to release right when there was the Barbie movie came out.
Right.
So again, I was able to take it and really speak of some of my own experiences, you know, growing up as a young Black girl with Barbies. And so I got to use this image to really hone in on a message that was really relevant at the time, for sure.
Very cool. That's a big thing in my area here, the Barbie movie. They've even got a lot of trade shows here now have the big Barbie box thing that you can step into, and it's like you're a Barbie in the store in the box.
Yeah, well, that's what I did with one of these images. We put the image in a Barbie box.
That's awesome.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. On Facebook. Yeah, I put it in a Barbie image, and that was the post I used, this image in a Barbie box.
I didn't see it.
Oh, I'll tag you.
I have to go back in. I'm telling people to follow your page and look at your posts. I need to.
They'll send them to them because they're going to want to see that now. So they're all going to go to your page.
Yes, absolutely. And this was specific for Sheeta's. We wanted to get real with the Sheeta's. And for me, I mean, LaTasha, she was just ready to go. But I'm like, do I want a dark gray background? Do I want a light gray background? Do I want a white background? And so I'm sitting there like dorking out photographer speak to myself. No one else can understand what I'm thinking or saying, except for maybe Jamie, who wasn't there at the time.
Yeah.
But just, you know, figuring out the dark and the light and what works. And at the end of the day, this dark gray really sets her off, I think.
And as a past magazine photographer, I can see how this is being worked on because I can tell you're probably thinking of a 2-page spread or something like that where you could put something 100%. On the left-hand side, writing and stuff.
That's exactly what she did.
Yeah, I can see. I was a former magazine photographer, so I know exactly where she's going with this.
Yeah, so great too. I borrowed Joey's sweatshirt for this one because he was the only one that had a She Does sweatshirt.
Yes, and I told you that hoodie was going to come in handy.
It was. I made it back, so I had one made of my own. So
good. I'm glad. Yeah, he was walking around with that sweatshirt with like 20 different safety pins attached at the front. Remember, because he's just like, you know, always ready to alter something on the fly if need be.
So great.
Yeah, these are beautiful.
Black and white really pops with her. Those
Mhm.
black and white images, like when you look at here, like her skin just looks radiant there, like it just pops.
Yep.
I need you guys to follow me around all the time.
I'm right here. So, Martina.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the concept though. It looks awesome.
Very fun.
Yeah, we've got a lot. There's so many there. Maybe you can skip ahead to the ones that are, she's on a bench and she's got a big pink poof around her.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm looking for a dumbbell there. I'm looking for doing rows or something there, just to pose.
Yeah, no.
She's like, I'm over it. Oh, and then we need it just all, you can probably skim through these a little
I
quicker,
think I
John.
see. Yeah, I see where they are now. They're right after this.
These are these ones.
I think that, you know, outside of the one that's on the billboard, I think that these are my favorite.
I feel that too. I mean, knowing, you know, what the whole process was all about, like this just screams diva to me. Like, and you know, I added a few extra effects in the post processing to kind of get that depth, right? You can see the difference there. And just, you know, giving options, but the ones with the lighting effects are my favorite.
Yeah.
Absolutely love them.
I made one of them my profile picture. My
yeah.
That
one. You better stop.
Yeah.
And it's fun to go back and see them again, right?
Yeah.
Because I worked on them, put them in a gallery, sent them off. I'll be revisiting them when we put the magazine together, of course, but like to see them pop up again. Like,
to me, these have a total Vanity Fair look to them.
Yep.
I can see it. Like I can see that. Which one was it? It was, I think it was that first one there. That one could be the cover of Vanity Fair right there.
Absolutely.
From your
Crop
mouth
a little bit of the sides.
What's prophesy, that? John, prophesy. Listen, we can make a lot of things happen. And Joey and I are working on some really big stuff together outside of what you already know. There's so many other big things that are probably going to be coming up in 2024.
I love it.
And we're working on together. So, so fierce. We take the little ball at the pool. This was our last look of the day. Insane. Girl. Yes.
See, that's a fun shot. I like that.
Yeah. And that was the last shot, right? That's the last shot in the gallery.
Yep. That's all I have.
Boom. Drop the mic. We were done.
We were done. 8 hours later. No.
I love it.
Exactly. It was, I mean, all things considered, that wasn't that long of a day for 9 major Joey Malone outfit changes.
Yeah, no, for all of the looks. And it really didn't feel like it. I mean, I think we all still had more in us and went out to dinner together. Like we were still
absolutely
like that wasn't enough. We're like more time.
Yes, but half of us were definitely falling asleep at the table.
Yeah.
I was like, I need a glass of wine and some food.
So fun.
We did it though.
That's
right
great.
on. All right. Well, I mean, we've covered a lot. I hope that you can come to Arizona for my birthday party, the meet and greet, because we are doing a meet and greet with Joey Malone here in Scottsdale on September 30th. He will be in town. He was invited for my birthday, but what we've decided to do is really maximize those moments that he's here, because Epic Destination Shoot Scottsdale is happening January 24th through the 31st. So those of you that have worked with me before without Joey, or even if you've never worked with me before, we encourage you to come to the Hilton and meet with us there for an hour and a half on Saturday, September 30th. And those that can't make it in person, we will also be doing a Zoom call from the hotel during that time frame so that you can meet Joey, find out what we're all about. And those people that book their shoots for January at the meet and greet on that day, they're entitled to a 20% discount on any of the photo shoots that they book. So that's a big deal, because we usually don't discount our services because you see what you get with them, but we want you to be there and meet us and shake our hands and be a part of this. So here's the info for you. You can text to 602-919-4444 if you can make it. Grab a friend. Cocktails, nibbles, socializing, portfolio reviewing, discussions of what's possible, and all the awesome things.
Love it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If only I could make it
Oh, just get your passport. You'll be fine.
to Sarah's 21st birthday.
Oh,
Again.
again, and 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 again. I'm gonna fall off this chair with how many agains that would take for me to get back to 21. Are you kidding? No. Feels great.
no.
We're in a great place right now. And
That's
LaTasha
good.
is so grateful that you've joined us. Is there any other stuff that you want to throw out there real quick before we?
Yeah, no, it felt really fun to relive that. It feels like that was like a little while ago, and to watch it all over again, like
Yeah.
I really love that moment. So thank you for resharing it, because it was so much fun. I felt like I was on such a high for a while from the whole week. And then of course every little time it gets revisited, it's like,
I
So
have to tell you, I get so sad. My husband's like, oh, great. Now I got to leave her alone for a few days. Because I get depressed because coming off of like, with Patty was there. Joey was there. John Mark was there. My other bestie, Lisa, was there. Tall Lisa, you know what I mean? And like the collective of everyone that worked together to make that whole thing happen. You get depressed when you don't have it around you anymore. And I'm like, what's my purpose for today?
Yeah, I know the feeling. When I used to go to like the Arnold Classic all the time back in the 90s and stuff, and you go for the whole weekend and you do the whole trade show and everything, and then at night you're at the partying and all that stuff, and then you go home and it's like, I gotta go back to work tomorrow for the normal 9 to 5 again.
I know. Probably same for you, LaTasha, like coming off of the whole challenge and the shoot at the same time.
Yeah, we just had a huge event on Saturday. Like I'm just one of those, like I plug in the next one, right? We're doing I also have a She Does Foundation nonprofit, and we are doing some amazing work for women in the communities and helping women that have either suffered a loss in their immediate family, the loss of a spouse or the loss of a child, or they're suffering from a life-threatening illness themselves. And are doing a huge brunch and raising money to give to them and having them picked up in a limo and all kinds of amazing stuff with like a good 200 women. So we're sending out the nominations so anybody anywhere can nominate these women, and then we'll pick 3 women to bless, and that'll be a huge having in November.
And so where can people find more information on how to get involved with that?
It will be on our She Does page, but literally we just secured the spot. So we're putting everything together. So as soon as I have all of the landing pages and the way to nominate a woman built out, I will let you know.
Yeah, for
Definitely
sure.
send us a promo and we'll put it on the onset Facebook page. We'll throw it all out there for you.
I would love to bless all of the women. So hearing stories definitely sits in my heart, and we just want to continue with our foundation to come up with ways to bless women, whether they're children. We're talking about doing a daddy-daughter dance and a mommy and me tea, and work with sex trafficking and special needs, and we've got some really big plans ahead for our She Does Foundation. So we're excited.
Good for you.
So excited for you, excited to be a part of your family, and just excited for all things that you're involved in. Make sure you don't lose my number when you explode. So don't forget the little people.
No, you're following me around with this beautiful hand and camera of yours.
There you go.
Don't tell me what a good time. I'm there.
Before you go, we always ask our guests, before you leave, we want to hear your words of wisdom, something you can give out to everybody watching now. What's your words of wisdom you can give them?
Oh my gosh, your authentic self is enough. Your authentic self is enough. If I had have told myself that, and years ago, I would have showed up differently so many times. And then other than going through the process of feeling I had to fit this mold, this model, this person, this type of just to be myself and let the chips fall where they land is exactly where you're supposed to be. So, but you can only discover that when you show up as your authentic self. So unveil, unmask, and bring him or her out, because that's what the world needs.
Yes. Such great work. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Thank you again, LaTasha Renèe. Everybody follow LaTasha on Facebook. Get inspired. Check out She Does, and just get involved in any way that you can to help support this wonderful woman and the foundations that she's putting together. Amazing stuff.
Want to be part of the She Does community, you can go to shedoesinnercircle.com, and there's a way to go ahead in there and become a part of the conversation. And we're doing some great stuff together collectively. So
she does innercircle.com. Make notes. All right. Thank you, LaTasha, for your presence, your gifts that you give to the world, and your beautiful love for everybody that you touch. Thank you so much, LaTasha.
Thank you.